Welcome to today's Seidokan Saturday. Next, combination kicking. The next three actually involve a setup, attack kick, and then a turn on the kick. Again, these are typically more useful in sparring, but again, if I possibly beat my opponent back or pushed him away, then I can follow and do the kicks with the turns and stuff. There are three that we're going to be doing. The first one is a crescent to a reverse crescent kick. Mikazuki geri into a spinning reverse crescent kick. I'm not going to turn with my ripped MCL, so I'll let Max do this, but a word first. Back in old Okinawa days in karate, kicks were named one of two ways. Either the part of the foot you were hitting with, such as sokuto geri, which is a blade foot, it could be done kicking forward. This is not a side kick because I'm kicking to the front. It's only a side kick if I'm kicking to the side. So there were really only front kick and side kicks. That was about it, and they were all lower level kicks. I mentioned before in a previous video, and I think you can see this supported in other martial arts vlogs, video logs of more famous people than me, that most of the kicks came from one of two places. They came to Japan primarily via savate, French boxing, kickboxing, which was an adjunct to the boxing styles. The American boxers were coming in, and then the French boxe française savate, which is box from France with the boot, foot fighting. Okay, most of the kicks came from that source and were superimposed or added into the karate milieu, to the karate curriculum. That sort of caused a residual bounce back into Okinawan karate as well. You will see, and we have pictures of Master Toma doing a high flying side kick. Side kick was very definitely one. Motobu Saru, Monkey Motobu, was one of the nicknames of Choki Motobu, the brother of the man who taught Ugahara, who taught Toma. Choki Motobu was noted for being able to jump. He was very agile. We have pictures of him when he was in his 50s, kind of older and a little paunchy, but in his youth, he was very much a jumper. And there's the old stories of him jumping up and putting his footprints on the roof of the hut. Somebody talked to his wife and son and Chosei now, who's inherited his system, and to verify that. I can't remember whether they marked it as true or not, and fact-checked it as false, but it was a reputation he had for jumping. So the jumping kick, very much a part of it. But the jumping, the roundhouse, the hook, the crescents, and those kicks primarily came from boxe française savate. They also come somewhat from the Shorin or Shaolin lineage. In the northern Shaolin Kung Fu, the kicks are actually a very common practice. And if you study even current contemporary modified communist-supported Kung Fu, they still have a lot of those kinds of kicks in their system. So that's sort of where they came in and infused the Okinawan. They are not indigenous to old Okinawan karate. Old Okinawan karate, block kick, maybe short kicks, blade foot kicks. That was pretty much it. You won't find in any of the koryu of the old kata any roundhouse kicks or high side thrust kicks. We have sort of gone away from, for example, in Pinyan Shodan and some of the katas, I mentioned this before, that we have the back fist front kick. Originally it was block front kick, then it became elongated back fist front kick, then it became even more elongated back fist side kick, and sort of evolved into the sport field of long-range kicking. Just to review that for us. So the kicks of Okinawan karate did not include some of the things that we now consider pretty common just to the karate curriculum at large of the karate world, all styles. Some of it possibly could have come from Taekyon, which became Taekwondo, which was an offshoot of Shotokan, and that whole history, but I find that less to be the case than the savate and Kung Fu version. However, we can't discount the possibility that the Korean karate of Taekwondo had an influence on our kicking, if not in bringing the kicks in, at least in the evolution of the style or performance aspect of the kicks. Okay, so today's kick, crescent, spinning reverse crescent. We're going to be moving forward one step at a time. First, the crescent kick, stepping forward into it, turning, reverse crescent kick, and step back. So as we advance, we're pretty much going just one step forward at a time. And I'll have Max give us a going toward camera, and then we'll have one coming sideways. Okay, so from the fighting stance, first the crescent kick, hey, stepping forward, then the reverse crescent, hey, and he spins back. Okay, and then opposite side, you want to do the other side, go ahead and go left crescent, hey, and spinning Mikaski and around. Okay, let's do that one time coming from side. Right, a little more back, a little more, there you go. Okay, so the crescent kick comes, H, stepping forward and right away into it. Okay, so putting that in context, as an attack, if we were here in our close fighting stance, this is a great, come this way, I'll go once just because I'm feeling kind of rowdy. Still, my MC, I'm going to try not to injure myself, but who knows? Yeah, sometimes I hurt myself for your viewing pleasure and my students' enjoyment. So the crescent kick can go knee or elbow or head, depending on, if I use it to the knee, I break him down here, he drops a little, that makes the reverse crescent coming around to the head a little bit easier. If he's at the arm, I clear a path. Now again, I can go head or into the back, kidney, and body as an attack. Okay, your turn. Pick your targets. Okay, so as a sparring. Now, I wouldn't shoot right into that probably. We're going to want to set that up. I may feint, right? Get him moving, and then take him out. Now, one that I don't have in here, very common to Kung Fu and Kempo systems, and also very useful, without the turn, and I'll just add this in as an adjunct, it's not really our technique du jour, but is to do crescent kick immediately into a side thrust kick. Also very useful. Same thing again, crescent kick into the side thrust kick. Going high. So we can use those combinations. But the turning, you'll do yours again, scoot back a little bit. The turning gives him a little added momentum coming at me. Okay, very useful. Hey, arigatou gozaimasu. So the first of our turn kicks, forward kick, turn kicks is crescent, spinning, reverse crescent. We have two other combinations there that we're going to do in the next 2 weeks with a forward kick attack and a follow-up with a turn. As always, thank you for joining. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, leave comments. I love comments. I always respond to them as best I can. And that's pretty much it. So until next week, let's keep practicing.